Hello and welcome to this multimedia series on the environment on CNC3. I'm Ira Mathur. In the old days, we burnt it. Now we bury it. I'm talking about the huge amount of waste our nation of 1.3 million people generate every single day. We consume over 100 million bottles of soft drinks every month. Half of that ends up in the dump. If we continue to dump plastics, glass, metals, electronic equipment, we're burying a time bomb. What will not decompose will create disease, contaminate water and land. Today we start to talk recycling. In our Thursday Guardian series, the Spaniards and Germans have been telling us how they do it. Sorting out rubbish into piles of plastic, glass and paper is as natural to them as breathing, to their citizens. They have clean countries, make money and protect their environment as a result. Today, we ask how we can get there with Christian Cannell, Managing Director of Resin Converters Limited, Ricardo Gay, Managing Director of Technical Systems Limited, and Richard Tang, a management consultant. They all have enormous experience in recycling. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. But before we start, we've shown this clip before, and we've had numerous requests to show it again. Let's take a look. Well, Christian, you're in the middle and you're in the hot seat, so my first question is to you. Where does all the rubbish generated by 1.2 million people go, and why should we care?
It all ends up in the Labas. It's just trucked there on a daily basis, and it's been done like this for the last 40 years. It is purely the old system of just collect everything, treat it the same, and bury it. That's how we treat our garbage.
And how long can we keep this up for?
Not much longer. We're surely going to have to pay the piper sooner or later. We have a tremendous amount of opportunity in the various types of waste we have, and we are not making use of this.
Not to mention the disease that we were speaking about when we spoke yesterday.
Can't you tell? Every day we're with dengue and every other type of disease that is as a result of the way we live.
Okay. Well, let me come to you next, Ricardo. To what extent has the recycling business developed in Trinidad and Tobago? Some people who do recycle or want to recycle say, well, we want to do it, but we don't know how.
Well, it has developed. Within the last 20 years, the recycling industry globally has really and truly picked up a pace, and things has begun to happen in terms of technological advances and also means by which we can. In Trinidad and Tobago, that unfortunately is our biggest challenge, really and truly enabling the public to recycle. In terms of businesses and stuff, I would say that some businesses, especially international companies, understand that we need to recycle.
But the ordinary person watching this saying, you know what, I want to recycle, I want to sort out my plastics from my glass, from my paper, and I want to do something positive, where do they go?
That is and has always been the challenge and problem in Trinidad and Tobago, because really and truly to find the information, where do you go to get the information? If you call the government agencies, what they will tell you is that either A, they don't endorse companies, so they can't tell you where you can do such, or simply they don't know. Right? So information and the dissemination of information to the public is what has really been the problem in Trinidad.
Richard, why is there such a big problem with the collection of plastics and other sorted waste materials? Why can't we get there?
I think there are a couple of factors. One of the key things is culturally we've never been conscious or aware of the environmental impact of the solid waste. As Christian said, it's always been seen as a nuisance, you just dump it and bury it. Whereas there's now a learning and awareness that it's actually a revenue stream. It's actually an opportunity there. You know, people see waste products. Some people look at that and see an opportunity to actually make a business out of it. And we are still very much in the embryonic stage in Trinidad. Internationally, it's a grown industry, but we're still very much in the infancy stages here. And the time is ripe now for entrepreneurs to come forward and create these opportunities, but there needs to be a holistic understanding of the various steps involved, which goes from the individual in their household to the collection points, to the sorting points, to the actual processes at the end of the chain. It's a chain of events, really.
And what is that chain?
Well, as I just said, it starts from the household, really, because we're the ones as consumers who generate the waste, whether it be plastics, e-waste, organic, whatever the material is. And it needs to be a will, first of all, to want to not just throw it away in terms of either litter or into our waste stream, which goes in the dump, which, by the way, I differ from Christian in that it's not much longer again. We've actually crossed that stage. The dumps are now beyond capacity. So the dumps are actually not taking a lot of the material that we're sending to it. So if it doesn't go to the dump, where does it go? It's going to end up on the roadsides. It's going to end up in places that they shouldn't be ending up. So it's ironic that we have a problem with a landfill problem and a roadside litter problem. It's ironic because that same material is actually tremendous potential to create business, to create employment, to create an economy.